Hello and good evening. So, let's start. I prepared for today a little bit, mainly with creating these beautiful graphics for the game. Everyone will notice that I'm not an artist now. So, this is just basic. This is just a tile for the floor, and I made a character in 3 steps for the 3 upgrade states. I really don't like the character, but I think the enemy blob turned out well. I actually used the one that I had in mind when I first thought about what I could do with the game. And I made like an upgrade, so like the color you can get in the game as a first pick up and upgrade. So far that's what I prepared. I just did very basic preparations for the game. So created a scene. I just put the tiles here and the actors. If you hold down shift, it will snap to the grid, or you can just place it freely. I didn't even make the enemy yet. So a few things I noted. So first I decided like to do everything from scratch, because there are a lot of like blueprints, like behaviors. Let's create the enemy actor first. So I call it enemy blob. We still need an animation, or at least our graphic. So what I noticed when I created the player and the upgrade actor, what's I think a very good idea when you work with Stencyl, you see all the tabs, and I forgot a lot of the settings, so I think it's a good idea to just have a quick look in all the tabs before like closing and saving the actor. Okay, I will add behaviors later because they're not yet there. Also the events, but okay, collision shape. For example, that's really not a good collision shape for that sprite. So let's just... No. Okay, here I can... I think that's better, probably, maybe a bit smaller too. No, I wanted to put this. Yeah. Well, let's just leave it for now for the basics. It shouldn't be too bad. So the physics tab, that's actually very important. So I don't want I think I don't want any of my objects, at least for now, to rotate. And yeah, the enemies should be affected by gravity. There would be a lot of other settings, but I will leave them for now. So, properties. Ah yeah, that's also something I always forget, the group. I don't yet have a group for enemies, so I will edit groups and add enemies. Enemies should collide with tiles and with players. I'm just thinking if they should collide with themselves, but for now, let's say they don't have to. So, enemies. I think that's fine for now. So, oh my god, the player's so ugly. Oh, so another thing that's important, which I forgot again with the, that's why you should probably look into all the tabs. It's in the scene I forgot to turn gravity on, because by default it was 0 and now I don't know, I turned it to 50. So a few other things I did just to prepare is like because I already did like jumping behavior for the player, so I added like the space key for jumping, so you can press up or space. It wasn't there. And I set it to 4 times scaling, because if I run the game on scale 1, it's like super tiny. Since I have the resolution of 320 times 200 pixels on a 1080p screen, it would be like this size. I actually think 4 times was too much, maybe 3 times is fine. So let's put an enemy in the scene. I mean, all of the actors, all of the objects don't do anything yet, because I didn't add any behavior to them. But we will get to that. I imported the floor tile. So what I started doing is just like creating the player movement behavior, which is really very basic. Let's just skip over it. So every frame, if you press right, then you do your walking, set your X speed to your walking speed. So you go right. If you press left, you go negate walking speed, so in the other direction. If you don't press anything of the two, then your speed is 0. Like it is now, it means if you press right and left at the same time, you will still walk right, because you have if and otherwise if. So if you... So... yeah, and if we are on the ground and we press up, which is just a name for the key, I should probably rename that to jump. That should be better. And so if you press jump, then you set your Y speed to jump speed. So I chose that jump speed should be a positive number, but because the Y direction is like up is minus and down is plus, so you have to negate it. And if you jump, you are not on the ground anymore. So all of these, like walking speed, jump speed, and on ground, the bool I created. Like there's attributes, and you can create new ones of different types. So I have 2 numbers, walking speed and jump speed, and 1 bool on ground. So now we just get off the ground if we jump, and so that we actually get back to the ground. I also did this collision event. So if by group, if I collect with a tile, I'll check if I hit it with at the bottom, that means like I landed, then I set on ground to true. Yeah, and if I hit something with my head on top, then I will just set my Y speed to 0 immediately, so I start falling. Maybe the physics engine would do that automatically, I'm not sure. I should actually try if that happens automatically with the physics engine. Well, I will leave it there for now, just for safety. So let's just add the behavior to the player. These are default values that I set. So, and yeah, let's just see if it works, especially after renaming the jump key. So, beautiful graphics. So yeah, we can jump with space, and I can jump with up. Until now the enemy doesn't do much. Maybe I should not make it pushable. It seems that if I press left and I'm touching this, I will get stuck in the air. I will have to look into why this happens. But well, the collision with the upgrade thing should be different anyways. So let's start with destroying the enemy when I jump on it. So I will create a new behavior. Design mode is the mode we've seen, like with the blocks you put together. I will just use that for now. And it's an actor behavior, and it's enemy. Let's call it die on stomp. Something like that. So yeah, you can also preview the code it generates. That's also a very nice feature, so you can see. For now there's not much in there because we didn't do anything yet. So actually it will be pretty easy probably. You just have if the enemy itself collides with the player, then now we're going to so there are collision events. Yeah, I need the if. So if the top of first actor. Okay, so it's that's annoying sometimes if this happens. So if the top of actor 1, that's the enemy itself, was hit, then we'll just destroy the enemy. Kill here. Kill self. So and now we have to add it to the enemy. And I will create some basic like enemy movement, so so I think I will need like start position and an attribute walking distance, how far the enemy should walk, and actually the starting position should be hidden because we don't really want to modify that value. This will just be set, and walking distance should have, I don't know, like 5 maybe. Maybe that's not enough, maybe 10. So well, it doesn't matter, we can change it later anyways. So when we create the actor, we will set starting position to the X position of the enemy, so we can calculate how far we are going. And yeah, so when we are updating, we will yeah, and when I create it, I will start. So we can make an attribute walking speed. So let's say 10. The player has 20, so it's half the speed of the player by default. So we would walking speed, and actually I want to start going left, not going right, so I will just negate the walking speed so that it starts going. When updating, we'll check. So, so we will check if start position minus our current position, so that's the distance we traveled, and so we can use it for left and right. We will use the absolute value of that. So, and if this one, like the distance we walked, is bigger than the walking distance we want to walk, then we will change direction. So then we are setting the x speed of so we'll just negate the current speed, so we're just turning around. So I think that should already work. Yeah, hopefully. So let's just check out if the oh no, I want to abort. I want to abort this. So what I didn't do is to add the behavior to the enemy. But yeah, at least it's destroyed when I jump on it, so that's good. So let's just make the make the enemy move. Let's try it. So why is he not turning around? Probably I need a safety check. Okay, the sound. I just use a background noise simulator, sorry. If it's bothering you, I could either change it. I don't like that one too much. I don't know, maybe no sound is fine as well, I'm not sure. I just thought maybe some background noise is nice. So so I can turn it off if you want. Just just tell me. So now we have fire and night feeling. Maybe that's a bit better than the train. Now I see why the walking didn't. No, that's... I think probably the problem is, like, my theory is that we're turning around if I do this, but we are not actually moving, and the next frame before we even move, it's turning back and forth all the time because it didn't move enough. So I'll try making a different condition, or so let's get this. So if you press Alt and you drag something, you can like copy the piece you have. So now we have two conditions for walking left and right. So this means this should be walking left, right. I'm too confused now. Start minus X. This should be walking left. So I need a the end block. And then I need if the let's greater and smaller. And then we need to check if our current speed is bigger or smaller than 0, to check if we're really going in that direction. So starting position minus X position. That means we're going left, so the X speed has to be negative, and in this case we're going right and it has to be positive. So if one of these conditions is true, that's going to be a big block. Maybe, hopefully this will work out. Let's check that. No, it seems to not work. Why don't you want to why don't you want to turn around? I wonder. Hmm. Weird. Hmm. Hmm. So maybe we have friction and that's a problem. Let's try. I don't know if I have friction for the character, but let's just try to set the friction to 0, because maybe it's just slowing down by itself when it's because it's walking on the floor. Yeah, that was the problem. Oops. I will just set friction to 0 on the enemy itself. Enemy physics. So friction 0. So probably I should set it to 0 with my player too. Probably that was the problem, why I didn't fall down when I was touching the upgradable before. So let's test this out. Yeah, I think it should the enemy should move slower and farther. Yeah. Yeah, no more friction, so I can just fall, even if I'm if I'm touching this. So let's just make the enemy a bit slower. No, walk farther, but make it slower. So what doesn't happen yet is that the player dies when he touches an enemy. So let's make player die on enemy contact. I think it's better to do it the other way around, because it's the player, like until now we only have this one enemy type, but so that the player doesn't have to know how on which side the enemy is dangerous, on which side he can destroy it. So probably it's better if the enemy kills the player. Because the blob doesn't kill the player when it touches it with the upper side. So when the enemy, any player, we only have one player, so we as well could choose a specific actor. Oh no, that was not right. Okay, so no. So if I collide with the player and collisions, and it wasn't the top, then we kill the player. Kill. Yeah. Well, for now. No, let's make it. So, because this kills the player, and maybe we don't want to kill him instantly every time he touches the enemy, will trigger an event. So we'll call the event probably like hit or damage. Let's call it damage. So we have the damage event. No, not in all behaviors for this scene. In the behavior for the actor. So, and I should probably rename this, because it doesn't kill, it just damage player on side touch. Well, because it doesn't damage him on the top. So let's just add it to the enemy so I don't forget to add it. And yeah, so now the player has to do something with the I will make the behavior player health. So we make another number attribute called health. And well, let's say we have 3 health points at the beginning. Oh, I don't really have to do anything when I create the actor, but now we need advanced and custom event, and this will be the damage event. So every time I receive the damage event, I will not set, but I will decrease the health by 1, and if our health is below 0, then we have to kill the actor. So again, let's add it to the player before we forget. Oh yeah, and something very important. We should create another attribute. Is invincible. And I forgot this should be hidden. So after we receive damage, we should probably be invincible for a certain amount of time. So let's just create a invincible time. So let's say by default we're invincible for half a second. And yeah, default value is false. So we say we do all this only if we're not. Oh, I just didn't see it. So if we're not invincible, then we do this stuff, and we set, let's see, is there, so yeah, there's something like after n seconds. So I want to do this, but I want to start it in a way. Well, for now, let's set invincible to true. So now I would like to start this time event, but I'm not sure how to. Let's say see event. Yeah. So we will trigger an event here, and the event is I think this is just after. Okay, it doesn't. I want to start this somehow. Behaviors. I will just try to Google if I can find something on that. I don't want to use the custom event. I want to trigger predefined, I don't know, maybe something like that. Hmm. I mean, I can, since I don't know how to trigger that now. I mean, I could make a own behavior out of that and just trigger that on and off, but I think I will just write it myself then. Do I have some like time? No. Okay, I can even put this here like that. Okay, so it's actually easier than I thought. I should have looked for that before. So let's see if I get damaged. Oh yeah, he stops moving because he touched me. Oh no. Okay. Well, at least I died after several hits. So the enemy okay, let's just add a little just so we have a little feedback when we're hurt. We will just set a little so just for now to see that we are invincible. They're just some basic effects built inside of this. Yay. Oh yeah, and now we lost our 3 lives. So I think that's a good point so far. I mean, we still need something. Oh my god. Something like life. Oh yeah, and the enemy changes its speed too much. I have to try to fix that. I actually think that is pretty easy because I can just make it not pushable. Oh, but then it doesn't have gravity. I mean, I think it's probably... I mean, I want the enemy to have gravity, but not to be pushed by me. Yeah. Okay, so at least... Nah. But I think I will need gravity at some point, so I leave it like that and I will find out another way. And yeah, I'll look into how to continue. Next time I'll try to like... Yeah, I'll probably get some user interface so that we have like a health bar, hearts or something. Yeah, make the enemy and the player like interact better. Like that I should probably be able to walk through the enemy instead of pushing it, so that I get hurt but that I can keep on walking. And we should... And I want to get this working next time, that we can upgrade the enemy and the player when we collect this upgradable. Even though we don't have like the behavior for the upgraded versions, but we will. We will find that. We will try to achieve all that next time. So now we just have the basics. So I hope you enjoyed your time, and see you next Sunday. Thank you for watching.